Welcome to Tales, Tunes, and Tomfoolery starring Jerry Springer, along with Gene Galvin and me. I'm Megan Hills. We're recorded live in front of a brilliant studio audience at the Folk School Coffee Parlor in Ludlow, Kentucky.
My daddy
and now, here's Jerry Springer.
Oh, thank you, thank you. At the time we're recording this, a couple of weeks ago, did you see the Mayweather-Pacquiao fight?
I didn't
Did you watch
see it, but I followed it. I mean, you had to have, look.
I spent $100 on it. I felt like a fool.
Yeah, I mean,
everybody said the same thing.
But people are complaining about Mayweather, and I don't know why. I mean, the first 5 days of May, it was beautiful.
But
I ride the Ludlow
See, people
City.
were complaining about Mayweather, but the first 5 days of May, the weather was pretty nice.
Oh my God.
Testing 1 2 1 2.
You want to know something?
What my wife's favorite wine is?
yeah, we've heard that.
I want to go to Miami.
It never ends. It just doesn't stop.
You know what we should get? No, it doesn't. No. You know what we should get?
What?
We need to get some nicknames, and I'll tell you why I think we need nicknames. I hang out here all the time at the Folk School Coffee Parlor.
Get
They're
a
always
life.
saying, Gene, go home. You got a house, a wife, go home.
Yes.
But anyway, I was here the other day, and one of the baristas, Maria Corelli, came in, and I was talking with Matt Williams, the owner of the Folk School Coffee Parlor, and Maria came over, and she said, I have with me my best friend from the third grade all through life, and she was real excited. She first introduced her to Matt, and she says, this is Matt Williams, the owner of this place, my boss. They call him Catfish. She turns to me, and she said, this is Gene Galvin. He's the executive producer of the Springer podcast. And I then said, how you doing? My name's Screen Door. Megan, why the hell did I say my name's Screen
Anything
Door?
you could pick, that's where you went.
Really?
Okay. Well,
Why'd I do that?
So if you could do it again, what would it
Because
be now?
people are always slamming him.
Yeah. Hey, so I work. I work with my therapist to try to stop the facial tics, and now she's gonna be like, "Oh, well, let's talk about that for 4 sessions." Analyze your beats.
Yeah.
So obviously, Screen Door is a stupid,
really bad
nickname to have adopted, and I did it like right on the spot. It's all that came in.
It's amazing how your mind works.
I know.
Okay, speaking of nicknames, at the time we're recording this, and maybe I care about this more than anybody else, but it is Yogi Berra's 90th birthday.
Wow.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Happy birthday, Yogi. Now, when I was a kid, Mickey Mantle, and I grew up in New York. Sorry, folks, but I'm a Yankee fan. So Mickey Mantle and Yogi Berra were my favorite players, and that was just everything. And then, I got a little older, went to college, and started dating. And, well, I couldn't find a girl named Yogi, so I married Mickey. This is true. That's my wife.
And how long have you been married?
41 years.
That's incredible.
Okay, yes. So now for
She's
her,
a saint.
the poor
Yes,
thing-
she is.
Yeah, but she doesn't know what I do for a living.
Clearly.
She thinks I sell insurance. I haven't
you
told
must
her.
sell a lot of
I haven't
insurance.
told her
Did you
I'm
explain
Jerry
that jet
Springer.
Yeah. Got a
No,
Gulf Stream
I don't
selling
let her
insurance.
watch television, for God's sakes. Okay, so my wife's name is Mickey. Now we have a kid. And when our child was born, I said, honey, let's name her Yogi. Well, this is going to shock you, but she said no. So she didn't want her daughter named Yogi, so we named her Katie. Okay, now it's a few years later, we get Katie a cat. And I'm thinking, Yogi Bear? Katie, how about we name our cat Yogi Cat? Huh? No, Dad. Oh, now we get a dog. How about Yogi Dog? No. A few years later, we had just bought a boat. She comes into the bedroom Saturday morning. She says, Dad, I've been thinking you can name your boat Yogi Boat. And
Yogi Boat.
Yogi Boat with the number 8. Is my boat that
that's
has-
kind of cool.
Yes, but the boat has never been in the water.
Well, hey, Jerry, let's
I
tell
don't
the
swim
truth.
well. I don't want to take it out. Yeah.
One time, Bonnie and I joined you and Mickey at your place in Florida where that boat is sitting at a dock behind your home. And you said, let's take the boat out.
Oh, gosh, I forgot.
I said, yeah, that's great. That'd be a lot of fun. So we get in the boat along with our wives, and we're pulling out. And I say to Jerry, you know how to do this? And he
Not a
said,
chance, not a clue.
Kinda. He said,
Because I
kinda.
had never taken it out.
We go in the intercoastal waterway, and there are red lights and green lights in the intercoastal waterway. I said to Jerry, do you know what the red and the green mean? And he
The red,
said,
you stop.
not really.
Not,
really.
That's not how it works. in
And
the
to be
world.
honest, I couldn't help him because it's like keep green on the left or right. Does anybody know?
Oh,
There's
when
some
you're returning.
deal. Pat, what is it? Hey, Pat.
Yeah,
But-
red right return. When you're returning to land,
There
the
you
red
go.
should be on your right.
Well, we
Is that right?
took
I just made it up.
we took that boat. Not we. You took your boat and jammed it onto sandbars 40 times. He
wasn't
destroyed
40.
a propeller. Now, is
the
that not
prop?
true?
Totally bent. We couldn't get out.
Destroyed it.
Yeah.
And
That
this isn't a
propeller
matter of
doesn't
how
work
long.
in sand.
No, it won't work. In
What kind of a cheap boat is that?
Yeah. It was a blast. That was a fun ride.
Yeah,
on
I
that.
haven't been on the boat since.
Hey, Megan, let me ask you a question real fast, and then
Yeah,
I think
go
we
ahead.
want to talk about some voting stuff. Jerry and I were talking driving over here, and we're just sort of curious. We have known you. We love you. We think you're a smart, attractive young woman.
Keep going.
Youngish woman,
Youngish.
right?
Yeah. I
How's
noticed
your-
that your wife went home. She's not here for this broadcast.
Sorry,
which
Monty.
added the number of adjectives.
And we don't mean to put you on the
If
spot.
Monty's here, we think you're a really nice
really
person.
You're a
nice
lovely person.
But
Yes.
Megan,
You make all your own clothing. Captain of the volleyball team. What? All the girls like you.
how's your love life?
Really?
I'm
This
just
is
curious.
not the
how's
Jerry
your-
Springer
No, I know.
show.
No, there is none, Jane. There's none. I mean, I date. I don't.
Yeah.
Never been married. Don't have kids. So I work.
And
I work.
you work well, and I
These
know that.
lights
and
are on.
Here's a thought that I had because I'm a fixer.
Yes, you
know,
are.
and I was thinking
You're a pimp. You're
thinking-
trying to fix her
well,
up.
that may be apropos
Is that what
to
this-
my idea. Here's the idea: we've got a website. Let's use the damn thing. I mean, that's my use it or lose it. We got us a website. He paid for it, and it costs a bunch of dough.
So what do I get out of this?
So how about if we put on the website, would you like to date Megan?
Give me some stranger is gonna.
And then
How would this work?
Not
How do you see
strangers.
this
They are
like dating
fans
on
of
the
the
internet?
podcast. They're not strangers.
Are we
These
gonna put up pictures?
Part of our, well, Megan's picture is up there, and
It
it's a
is.
very
So
nice.
you know what
very
you're getting.
attractive-
There you go.
But do I know what I'm
They
getting?
know even better because they've heard you talk. You are the announcer at the front and back of the podcast.
Oh, this
you
could be
are
good.
involved in all of our conversations. We've established that you are highly educated. You have a big girl job.
Big girl job.
You have a luxury Acura car. You are living large.
Yeah, what are you driving?
I come on the Ludlow
You
City
drive
bus.
a
So
toy.
so Megan, why don't we put on the website and then get some guys to make their pitch, maybe do them even in video form.
And you two are going to screen this?
Well, Jerry could be, he's the one that could pick, well, actually, you would pick the guy you're going to have a date with.
Because we don't want to be responsible.
no.
But
Well,
here's
we've
the
never been
protection.
responsible, but we are. You have to pick who you want to go out
Okay.
Here's
all
the
right.
safety net.
Yeah.
Keep
Well,
going.
Think of a Mormon community, or think of Spain where there are chaperones on dates. Mm-hmm. My wife Bonnie and I will go on the date with you and the guy you select. I will wear a ball cap, I often do, and I'll put a GoPro clip-on camera
Well,
on.
what guy wouldn't want to be a part of that?
That sounds like a dream
And, we,
situation.
right, and we'll go to dinner, and at the dinner
At Burger King.
I'll be well. I was thinking like
You
White
just-
Castle,
you just-
Skyline.
Skyline, and we'll get
Menage a
video.
trois. What are you guys talking
We'll
about?
put the video on the website.
Yeah.
We'll get the guy who you think, maybe get a couple guys and they can call into the podcast. You can pick them. What do you think?
I mean, why not at
Let's
this point?
do it.
Why not?
I think that would be a blast. Here, let's do that.
I'm putting.
Let's do this.
You poor thing.
I've got nothing left
If
to
you,
lose.
I'm telling you, no, Megan.
And then if it doesn't work out, you come on my show.
And then I have, exactly. I think
Perfect.
that's perfect.
All of a sudden, this is tax deductible for
Yeah,
me.
that's right.
I've been recruiting. This is perfect.
Let's
Nice
get
going,
him
Gene.
on the record on this. There's one last thing. Your father's going to love what I'm
Oh,
about to
he's-
say. Megan,
this
in the
is-
off chance
this can only
a
end
cool
badly.
guy comes in and you connect with this guy and it turns into something, let's have Jerry Springer give you the wedding of a lifetime. Yeah! Jerry! Now that is a
On
deal.
our show.
Oh, there's the catch.
That's the part of the sentence you forgot.
Okay,
our
we Megan, leave it to me. I will organize this.
Oh, this is
It
gonna
might
be
take
great.
a little bit of time. This will be a lot
Who's
of fun.
paying for this date? It's going to wind up being me, and I'm not even there.
No. I will.
Oh, you
I will
won't
pay
pay
for the
for
dinner. I will
anything.
pay for
So
the
it's
dinner.
so it's definitely
that'll
Burger
be a
King.
yeah, the
first.
guy
Definitely Burger
definitely
King.
gonna be
It'll
Burger
take you to
King. That's right.
McDonald's at best.
All right, that's going to happen.
Yeah.
So, Jared,
Gene's
speaking
terrified.
of voting, and we'll let people
Yeah.
vote on who you should pick.
Yeah.
We'll do a whole deal out.
Oh,
It's going to
dear
be great.
God.
Okay,
What do you
here's
think
the
of?
yeah.
Speaking of voting,
Yeah, because we talked about this a little before the podcast. And okay, here's my rant of an idea. And I honestly think we should do it, and I've been thinking of what are the arguments against it. Here's what I think we should do in America. I think we ought to have compulsory voting.
wow.
I'll say it again. I think we ought to have in America, just like they have in Australia, compulsory voting.
That exists in Australia.
In Australia, if you are a United States citizen, you can at least show enough care about this country that 15 minutes a year you can show up to vote. Now, we are a democracy, and the government ought not to be able to force you to choose this person or that person. So on every ballot, there has to be none of the above. So remember, no one is forcing you to vote for anybody you don't want to vote for, and you can put none of the above, or you can write in. So none of your freedoms are being taken away. But I think it is immoral as a nation to send young men and women halfway around the world to fight and die for our country, and the rest of us can't take 15 minutes a year to vote. It's disgraceful. Every year we have the same discussion. Well, what's the turnout going to be? Let's have a vote. Let's keep the voting booths open more days. All this stuff. Instead of saying, you are an American citizen on this day, or maybe it's a weekend, or maybe it's over 2 or 3 days, so it doesn't interfere with your job. Or nowadays, you can even vote by mail or vote, we'll figure out all the technology and how you vote. But every citizen of this country would be required to vote, and no freedom would be taken away from you because you can vote for none of the above. So let's not come with that thing. I'm not going to live in a country that forces me to vote for these clowns. You don't want to vote for clowns? Don't vote for them. But you have to show up. We as a society say you have to pay taxes. We as a society say you have to obey certain laws. If we're in this together as a nation, and we get all teary-eyed at the seventh inning stretched, how much we love America, please don't tell me you love America and then you don't take 15 minutes to vote, because I don't believe it. I think it's just happy talk. I think it's something we all just say. Oh, man, I love my country. I'm a patriot, all this. Did you vote? Nah, I don't. They didn't never do anything. Forget it. Now, here's another consequence of that. By the way, if every American voted, do you think we wouldn't have health insurance for everybody? Do you think we wouldn't have great schools? Do you think we wouldn't have decent housing and stuff like that? If every American voted, then everyone who runs for office would have to please the 99%, not just the 1%. So it wouldn't matter how much money somebody had. Everybody's voting. They can't have these campaigns to try to keep minorities from showing up on election day. They can't have these voter suppression laws. They can't have we're closing the polls early, or we don't have enough workers in this particular community, or we're going to have the cops show up within a 5-block area and you better not have any tickets because they'll arrest you there, so I'm not going to show up and vote. None of that. Every citizen of the United States of America should be required to vote. That's my idea.
That's a really interesting idea. And, just to tag on one thing to that, I hear, and it's a classic conservative and Republican frame, calling certain people low information voters. Mm-hmm. And it's completely disrespectful, because I tell you, I spent my whole life working in inner city settings, and I never met anybody who had low information. Folks knew whether they were Caucasian, Appalachian folks, or African Americans. They knew, and I'm talking poor people here, they knew exactly what was going on.
And they knew what they wanted.
Exactly
You
what
know
their
if you're
interests were.
hungry. You know if you can't afford to take your kid to the doctor. You know if you don't have housing. I mean, so it's not a matter of, and secondly, what are we picking on that issue? We let bigots vote.
Yep.
No one says you're bigoted, you can't show up and vote. This is America. Everybody, because the theory in a democracy is the crazies on the left will balance the crazies on the right. It all balances out. But in the end, every American should have a voice as to what our country does. This is our country. Please don't come up with a serious argument why I don't want everybody voting. Because you know darn well that every politician in America, at least in front of a camera, if there was a huge turnout on the election, would say, this is wonderful. Every politician goes into the schools and tell the kids, boys and girls, this is a wonderful country. When you grow up, you get to vote for who your leaders will be. Let's all do that. And we go through that whole process. And then when we get back to campaign headquarters, everything is done to try and keep the other guys from voting, you know?
And typically in a big turnout, liberals or Democrats tend to win. In a low turnout, conservatives and Republicans tend to win. So your idea, you mentioned Australia, and come to think of it, I have heard that, and it seems like I've read they pull it off there. There is a very limited number of people that live with the penalties, which are fines initially.
Yeah, there's no sensible argument against it, other than I don't want to be told what to do. America will not fall apart if everybody votes. I'll say that again. America will not fall apart if everybody votes. So there's no argument against it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, let's change the textbooks and let's be honest with our kids and say, this business about how voting is wonderful and all that, garbage. Tell the kids the truth. Now, we really don't want everybody voting, because if those people vote, you don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah, and that would be
Just
the
the people that
opposition.
think like us.
Am I taking it too far to say that we should require also everybody to vote on our website as to who Megan should go out with? Is that taking
Nice
it too
job,
far?
Let's see
Well,
how
I don't
that,
know. I mean, I'm
let's
just
see
trying to
how
grab an
that
idea.
works out, and then I may change my position.
Hey, we have someone with us tonight, a gentleman by the name of Jake Book. He's from Iowa, and he is an historic reenactment aficionado. He's, I think, pretty significant in that movement. He's from Centerville, Iowa, and we're very pleased to have you here. Now living in Owen County, Kentucky.
Yep.
He is, you can't see this because we're an audio-only podcast, but Jake is wearing, describe, Jake, what you're wearing. It's part of your reenactment interest, is it not?
Oh, well, yeah. I've always been into reenacting. My dad got back into reenacting back in the 70s, and when the bicentennial movement was strong, and so reenacting really exploded in that time. And so I grew up doing it my whole life, and recently sort of just made the decision to this is pretty much what I wear every day. I threw out all my
So
modern
you
clothes.
wear the clothes, which are period clothing
Yeah,
from
yeah.
what period would you say? What year?
I could if I had a time machine, I could go back to the 1870s. And
Okay.
fit right in.
And by the way,
Jesus, that
Jake,
looks-
and Jerry will be
that looks
interested in this.
like my closet.
So Jerry, do you remember that?
You mean?
And Jerry,
You mean that's a costume?
1870s, not 1970s.
Yeah, 1870s.
No leisure suits in my closet.
What's wrong with
that's
that?
good. That's appropriate.
So are you like consistent? It's only the natural fibers, or do you get that into that, or?
Yeah. I tend to try to keep it as close to what they,
Authentic.
what they.
And Jerry,
wore
you'll
and
take an
made stuff
interest
out
in
of.
this because Jerry Springer is, as he mentioned earlier, and this is legit. I've observed this for the last 45 years in our friendship. He's a huge baseball fan.
Oh, me too.
Jake Book is a huge baseball fan.
Go
But get this,
Yankees.
Jerry, but his real interest is Japanese baseball. Is that not true?
Well, I like Japanese baseball. I think Kat heard me talk about Japanese
That's
baseball. one
catfish.
time,
I'm
and
screen
yeah.
door, by the way. He's talking
And,
about catfish.
Yeah.
But I do like Japanese baseball. It's hard to follow in the U.S., and I can't really follow it consistently, but I like the way they play. I like a lot of Japanese players. But I am a big Yankees fan. And,
So you love that we have Tanaka.
Yeah, oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I hope his arm's okay.
He's a heck of a pitcher.
Yeah, he really is.
For sure.
And Jake, what are you going to perform tonight? And you're playing. Tell us a little bit about the song, and you're doing it on the guitar, obviously.
Yeah, this song is, like I said, I grew up in Centerville, Iowa, and recently wrote this song about Centerville. And it's sort of, those that are from Centerville would hear this song and say, well, that's a bit romantic. But it's sort of how I like to think of Centerville. So it's a small little town at the bottom of the state, the county seat. And so, yeah, take me back to Centerville.
Well, it's lazy in the summer, boys, it's cold out in the winter. The streets are always busy in the shops in the old downtown. And if you're hungry for a sandwich, it's much to your advantage. Just head on down to Raymond's for a hamburger and fries. Take me back to Centerville, a pork tenderloin, boy, I'll eat my fill. And I'll take a walk around the old town square. Well, in Centerville, boys, the girls are fair. Old men on the corner reminisce and tell their story. Shopkeeper walking down the street for soda in the afternoon. And I love that little city. Oh, its courthouse looks so pretty. On a sunny afternoon, in the heat of the day, in the good old summertime. Take me back to Centerville, a pork tenderloin, boy, I'll eat my fill. And I'll take a walk around that old town square. Well, in Centerville, the girls are fair. Well, I miss that place like an old girlfriend, and I hope to God I go back again. Keep the door open, dear Centerville, I'll be back again real soon.
Oh, great. Oh. Hopefully some guy in Centerville will call you, Megan. Oh my God, you got to go to
I'll try
Raymond's.
to keep that
Have
from
dinner
happening.
there. Have lunch. The date will be there in Centerville. How perfect.
That's just a great Americana song. Good
you.
job.
Thank you.
Wonderful.
And,
You have started a record label, though, correct?
Yeah, Historic Records is the name of my label, and I kind of started that a few years ago when I was getting into Appalachian music and old-time music, and I started to kind of collect folk songs, and I've made several trips to Appalachia, and I really love Eastern Kentucky, especially. So.
Is your wife involved with this as well?
Well, she's involved in that she really supports me, and,
Yeah.
and
So you couldn't call Megan for the day.
right, yeah.
Is that why you asked the question? How did you know he had a wife?
Sure. So Megan's just making conversation with the musical
I
guest.
met his wife in the lobby.
Yeah,
Oh,
and
'cause
she's
that's
also
the
wearing
women always
period
ask that
clothing, too.
question.
She is, that's why I-
What does
yeah.
your wife do? I don't know how many times I hear that question.
Hey, Jay, can you take us out on Irene Goodnight?
I will give it a shot.
Me too.
You've been listening to Tales, Tunes, and Tomfoolery, sponsored by the Folk School Coffee Parlor in Ludlow, Kentucky. Thanks to Patrick Kennedy for writing our opening song, and to you for listening. Hope to see y'all again real soon.
Stop staying out late at night. Go home to your wife and family. Stay there by the fireside bright. Irene, good night. Irene, good night. Good night, Irene. Good night, Irene. I'll see you in my dreams.
Sometimes I live in the country. Sometimes I live in town. Sometimes I take a great notion to jump in the river